Summer is fast approaching, and I think it's time we took a little bit of stress out of our lives, isn't it? With HelloFresh UK, you can get all the ingredients and inspiration you need to make your meal times and your cooking experience simpler than ever. HelloFresh provides a number of recipes and meals to make your life as easy as possible and also caters to a wide range of different dietary requirements. Use my special discount to get 50% off your first order plus 35% off the next three and 3 free gifts as well. What more could you ask for? Check out the discount link or the checkout code down in the description below. Well, I think it's about time that we got this recovery on the road, because following a disastrous start to the Irish Premiership season, we've got the chance to bounce back today. We're going to have to do it with a backup side because our focus is firmly on Europa League qualifying and a big end to the transfer window. We are back today in the relegation playoff place, albeit with just one game played, and we are trying to make amends against Ballymena United, a side that have caused us troubles at times in this save. Let's hope that's not the case today. We've also got a big focus on Thursday, a chance to make the Europa League groups for the first time, and most importantly, this could be a huge day for the transfer window. We've already got one in who will make his debut tonight. It's a big old leader, it's an unexpected signing. But the rest of them could be absolute superstars, and we'll meet them in today's episode, hopefully, as they come in. So if you're looking forward to all of that, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. We have got a lot to get through here, so let's start by having a look at the transfer screen. I'm not going to show you the ones that might be coming in just yet, but I want to show you the one who has arrived and will be a leader in the dressing room. Because our first official signing of this season for 110 grand from Linfield's transfer list, you may be questioning. You're well within your right to say, well, hang on a minute, Linfield are the side you're trying to chase. Why are you getting their sloppy seconds? But hang on a minute, because this guy, Sam McClelland, is exactly what we need, in my opinion. Not only is he a pretty decent centre-half, the joint best at the club, look at his personality. Leadership, 20, bravery, 16. He's got concentration, which none of our defenders have. He's aggressive, he's hard-working. He is exactly what I feel we should have in the dressing room. He's played in Europa League qualifying for Linfield already, but for this season, to get someone who's played in English football with Barrow, he's there in real life on loan this season, who's played 300 games for Linfield at the top level, who's won countless titles as a leader in the dressing room. This man is going to be so important for us. He's going to be a leader on the pitch most days. Our captain McElhatton doesn't play often, so McClelland will have the armband a lot. And I just feel with 9 Northern Irish caps, with quality, with leadership, and we've signed him for his mental strength. He's no better than Goss or McKenzie. He's no worse really either. He has got everything we need, and we said it. We just want a big lump at centre-half who is a proper leader and will get this dressing room together. So hopefully when we get to those big games then, we're not just going to collapse. He's been there, he's done it, he's got the t-shirt. Let's see how he gets on for us. The rest of them join him, probably not in that category so much, but there could be some stars on the way. We'll wait and see if that happens later on. But for now, let's go and get through to the Ballymena game. Linfield are away at Dungannon, Larne are away at Warren Point. Both of those have 3 points on us already, and Larne, as we know, battered us on the first day of the season. So let's go and get through to the team selection. You know the team we played on Thursday, it was our first team away in Denmark. We've got them again in 3 days' time as we fight for a place in the Europa League. So tonight, we've balanced it out a bit, and this is the squad we've gone for. We've got Neil Kane in goal, he keeps his place. Bell is the only fit left back, he has to stay in with Harvey over on the right. McClelland and Jones are the centre halves, and immediately we've got more depth than we had before. Robinson and Whitehall both returning to fitness in midfield. We could do with them sooner rather than later at full strength. Griffith still in as the number 10, we'll give him an hour or so tonight. Varma and Puarte on the wings, Lafferty through the middle. A lot of defensive changes is going to mean more goals conceded the first couple of months, we know that. At the moment, our defence is still weaker than it was. So let's go and get through to the first game today. A big one away at Ballymena. Let's see if we can do the job and get ourselves back in this race for the top 2. Well, here we go then. 2 changes for a pretty experienced Ballymena team. They've still got Finlayson and McCulloch and people like that, all edging towards their 30s now, but they're a decent top tier side. For us, it's a very rotated team. We know it's going to make things difficult. but we have got to get on this front foot early on. Just win a game, get ourselves into a good position, and hopefully start to build our season again, because at the moment, it's been a little bit of a disaster domestically. That Larne defeat was a really crushing one and a very disappointing day at the office. And if we don't win games like this now, we're going to start to really fade away. Our performances against Larne and Linfield have never been that great, as that is an awful tackle from McDonald. He's just done us a massive favour there. A red card for Ballymena after 16 minutes. And hopefully that gives us an advantage, because losing 3 points to the top two on the opening day, we cannot afford to get further behind. And at the moment, Linfield are winning 2-0. And despite being against 10, we're showing nothing here. As Harvey gets the ball to Tom Robinson, I've got my Sounds Like Sour Grape shirt on. I might well be sounding like that myself in a few minutes if we don't go and win this one. As Harvey gets the ball to Puarte. Down the right he goes for Griffiths. Lovely switch of play. Bell's getting forward. He's got support from Varma, who's okay despite that tackle on him earlier. Finds Bell again with the clearance, and he's got the chance to get down the left. There's three in the middle if we can find them. Robinson with a chance to cross it. Back to Bell again. Keeping possession well. But this is the thing. No one's really taking that risk at the minute because we're not in confident form. It's another flying tackle, which Bell escapes. And he releases Varma down the wing. He's got the chance to shoot. He crosses in. That's offside. So annoying because he had another option on the cross, or he could have gone alone. He just didn't need to rush it, but he did. Lafferty shouldn't have been offside, and it stays 0-0. But at the moment, we don't really look like scoring. So here's Harley Jones at the back to Whitehall. How long are those two going to last in midfield? Robinson with a pass to Bell. We get the first. This will be an absolute riot, but not sure it's going to happen anytime soon. Leslie getting away down the left. The worst thing would be to concede. Whitehall wins it back. We're basically playing the game exclusively in their half. Lafferty's offside again. Of course he finishes it again. Why on earth do they always finish the one-on-ones when they're offside? And when they're on, they can't hit a barn door. Lafferty's now had 2 ruled out. Will you please beat the offside trap? Because we've got a free kick on the left with Griffiths. Good ball in. Jones hits the woodwork. Bobbles across the line. And hacks away for a throw. Oh, it's starting to look like one of those nights again. Half time, only 1 shot on target, and 0-0 despite playing 10 men for the last half an hour. We've got to say that's not been good enough. We need a reaction quick. Well, here we go, approaching the hour mark, and this is a team that looks so lacking in confidence. We haven't had it like this for a long time, as Harvey gets the ball to Jones and Robinson. Still in their half again. We just need to find a goal at the minute. Varma gets it into Morgan Griffiths, and it is the same man who delivers it yet again. Griffiths with a brilliant run into the box, and that number 10 is saving us at the minute. 1-0 to Lisburn Distillery. That should be job done in truth, because they've got no attacking threat. But I am a little bit concerned about the lack of, well, attacking threat from us, to be honest, as Puarte gets down the right-hand side. Can we now start resting people for Europe on Thursday? We will if we get a second. Varma's up, heads it over the bar. That's a little bit of a concern. We're wasting good chances now. And I feel like we're going to have to start resting people. So, with just over 20 to go, I've got to look after Morgan Griffiths. He's so important to us. He's going to be replaced by Aitken. I'm also going to take off Whitehall. He'll be replaced by Daniels. We're just protecting fitness there. We're also looking at Puarte on the right. McElhatton on for him. Who else might play on Thursday? Curtis Bell. I'm not sure I can do much with that one. What I will do, I think, is go for Gavin Reid and switch Harvey to the left. And then the final sub will go Lennon on for Robinson, because again, returning from injury, we do not want to get another one. We've got 20 minutes remaining. We're 1-0. We're comfortable. They're not really having any attacks, but our lack of goal threat is a concern. Now, McClellan's up at the back post, and so is Harley Jones. And set pieces is always a constant threat for us. All the centre-halves are big now. McClellan does come in. He took one man away from the back post, and Harley Jones took advantage. That one should be game over. And Larne are being held at Warren Point, which is a big boost, as Aitken gets it on the left to Daniels, finds Lennon, back to Daniels again. Still no one's come in for him. He's on the transfer list by request at the minute, as Bobby Harvey has the ball at left back. If things go well in the next week and we get the players we put in offers for, he might not be playing much more football for us in the future, but he's still doing a job at the minute as he finds Brian Varma. He gives the ball away with a poor through one. It's via Lafferty. He goes back to Roney, who just chips forward. McClelland heads away, been rock solid back there today, and Lennon misses out in the challenge here. Through ball, McClelland will get there first, but he's given it away. Just as I said he was rock solid, he makes an awful error. Oh, why do I open my mouth sometimes, honestly? Sam McClelland with a debut error, and just after I said he's had a good game, he's now given Ballymena a sniff. Against 10 men, it's 2-1, and we've got a nervy finish still, and they're on the front foot. This is unbelievable. We did it in the game against the Danes, didn't we? As they're in again. Oh my God, the flag's up, thank God. Right, remarkably, let's just check this is disallowed. It is. I'm going to put the fullbacks on defend, and I'm going to time waste. We're having to do this against 10 men from an inferior side, purely because we just keep running out of steam. I don't really understand it, because most people are match fit, certainly the players who started. I don't know why we're running out of energy so late on, because this game, for example, is pro v semi-pro. There's no excuse for it. It's a really odd thing. We had it at the start of last season, if you remember as well. We kept conceding late goals. The only difference there is we had strikers in form and we were already 2 or 3 up. But it is becoming a pattern in those first couple of months of the season. And I don't know what causes it. But in the end, we're off the mark. We get 3 points. It's an important one for us until we find our top form, that we keep picking up the odd win here and there. And that one is going to be an important one. Did Larne win their match? They drew 1-1. So we're only 1 point behind Larne now. Linfield, I've got a feeling, are going to go away into the distance. They've won 2 games by an aggregate of 17 goals. But we've managed to get a bit closer to Larne. It's our former man, Chris Johnston, who saved the day as well. But with that done, let's go and get ahead to the big game on Thursday night. And if there's any transfer news in the meantime, I'll be back to share it with you. Well, it's Wednesday lunchtime and we have another arrival coming into the defence at Distillery. It is another backup player and it is another squad option, but it's an upgrade in one of those backup positions. So let's go and get the man in and we'll go and meet him, because his attributes aren't my usual style. He's definitely one we couldn't refuse. Here he is then, Ethan James, a 3-star ability right back with 4-star potential at 22. The Welsh invasion continues as we get an under-19 international of the past. He cannot defend really, which is the interesting bit. But my thought here was, we've obviously got a good right back in Reed on loan, who is our first choice. There's no doubt in that. His fitness isn't great though, and he doesn't play in a lot of the games against the bottom half teams. Like you saw Bobby Harvey came in against Ballymena. And my thought is he going to need to defend? Because we just need a fullback who's fit, can go forward, can fly into attacking areas, and weirdly, he can play number 10 and pass the ball as well. He can play off both sides. He's a good player to have on the bench. And he's a huge upgrade on Bobby Harvey. And with us losing a left back as well, and not yet finding a replacement for Jamie Williams, it does seem like a really logical option to bring him in. So, not an upgrade to our first 11 overall, but a massive upgrade in that backup squad that we rely on for 15 or so games of the league season. Well, it's Wednesday evening and the 5 hours since our last update has been torture, because Jaffet and Pardee and new signing Sam McClelland both picked up a sports hernia and will now be out for 6 weeks or so. So that new signing at centre-half is pointless straight away. And at 31, we can't really be affording long injuries with him. What we do have though, after being rejected for a Crusader striker, we were trying to hijack his move to Manchester United. It went as well as you probably expected. Smith, though, is going to be the next addition. Now, as a centre-half, this is important because McClelland has just got injured. He's also under 21, so doesn't need to be registered for the league squad, and there's no wage contribution. So altogether, this one is a bit of a no-brainer. Let's get it done, and let's go and meet the lad. Luke Smith is another addition to the squad at 3-star ability, 5-star potential. He is quality. We're not paying an ounce for him. He's got a jumping reach at 6'6" that should allow him to score a few goals. He's not got the best personality in the world, but he is probably just about the best defender at the club now. Can play well at right back, as you can see there. Can play well at centre-half, as you can see there. And it means we've got 4 or 5 really good options. So I'm delighted to have him in. A little bit aggressive, which is a worry. He's an England under-18 international, and he's a Southampton Academy product. We know how good their youth team is. So a really good addition with him. A great signing to the club. And it means that Kean, who's now unhappy, is now going to be released on a free, and hopefully for the Build a Nation's sake, one of the other top tier clubs will pick him up. Well, it's fitness test time as we're back for Thursday night, a big game against the Danes in the Europa League playoff, but we've still got 2 transfers that haven't gone through. We're looking for a left back and a right winger. There'll be a surprise for the next episode. For now, let's get ourselves into this one. None of the new signings, of course, will be able to play this game, and that's a shame because given the fact we drew 4-4 last time, and threw away that match late on, We could have done with a few better defenders in. As it is though, we'll go through the tactical meeting. Larne 3-0 down in their Europa Conference game, don't forget. And Linfield fighting really hard to make the Europa League groups, which would be an incredible achievement. We're going to go and get back to our first 11. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. This is an absolutely huge game, but despite that, only 1,000 people through the gate. Well, it may only be August still, but we are down to a very threadbare bench of 9 people, one of which is very tired, one returning from injury, and a couple not good enough. But we have got our first 11 out, so let's have a look at it in full. It is Neil Kane in goal, who keeps his place, as does Curtis Bell at left back. The rest of the defences all change. It's Goss, McKenzie and Reed who come in. Daly and Lennon the midfield too, Parry over on the left wing. Griffiths and Poirte did start on Monday, and Morris Simpson up front. Not been in the best form so far this season. Only scored the 2 goals. By this stage last year, he'd had, 10, 15 in qualifying for competitions. He's just not managed to get going this summer. We would like to get some top competition for him just to try and push him on to that next level. But ultimately, the team isn't playing with that much confidence, and that is part of the reason. We're not creating bundles of chances. We're not getting the ball in the box as much. There's only so much the centre forward you can do with that. Let's go and submit the team here. We are going through to the match. It is Distillery versus the Danish side Aalborg, and at 4-4 on aggregate, this is going to be a massive one. We mentioned Rasmus Lassen, who's their skipper, plays for Denmark, is a quality player, but they were poor defensively last time. Senf causes trouble as well. They've gone to 4-4-2, which is interesting because they played 4-3-3 last time. And away from home, 4-4-2 would suggest they're going more attacking. That might be a problem for us because we've struggled enough, as you know, at home in Europe this year. In fact, all of our qualifiers in the last 2 seasons, apart from against the San Marinese side, we have not won the home leg. The away results have generally been the ones to get us through. And with those 2 late goals we conceded in the first leg of this tie, I feel they are going to be costly, unfortunately. The Europa League music is playing. We get the usual useless shot of Windsor Park. I mean, it is great to see that we've got nearly 1,000 of our own fans, but I'm a bit worried that the away sides aren't bringing many because they're a decent European team. There's no way a Danish side there are only bringing 30 or 40, surely. But also the fact that our attendances aren't increasing with our reputation, which we've got to be worried about. We go into the first half at 0-0, 4-4 on aggregate. We just have to find a way to win. And I tell you what, Linfield are doing it. Look at the screen there. 1-0 up away in Sparta Prague. They won 1-0 in a home leg as well, I think. And now they're 2-0 up. Wow. Linfield are making us look silly, as Reed's got a throw on the right-hand side. Sparta, of course, the side who put us out in the Europa Conference last year. Another example of how much stronger Linfield are than us. As Poirte's in for us. Oh, no. Heavy touch, and it was just taken away from him. But it's back to Morgan Griffiths. His shot's blocked. We know if we're going to get magic, it's probably got to be him. The shot's over the bar from Gavin Reed. But the first quarter, we've been in the tie, and that's all we can ask for. Either way, we've done our bit this year. We've got to keep building this club and thinking pragmatically. As Morris Simpson, good save by the keeper, holds it at a second attempt. And apparently, oh no, it's gone out for a corner. But the one thing you would say about us is we've got to the group stages now 2 years in a row. Even if it is the Conference League, it's money, it's coefficient points, and it's a building of the reputation. As Daly goes back to Poirte. It peters out. There's nothing really happening in the first half an hour. And to be fair, I kind of feel it's the reason I need to get to the Europa League is maybe that reputation boost that comes with it. Playing in our biggest ever competition at the group stage as it's through to Poirte on the right, into Morgan Griffiths. Great block by the defender. Goalkeeper was down, I think it was beating him. The defender gets a leg on it. And again, we've just about edged it, but we're not creating that much as Poirte crosses. Simpson's up. Loses his header this time. Bell finds Parry. Back to Griffiths, it's blocked. Lennon again. Back to Gavin Reed, and his shot's over. He keeps shooting all the time now. I don't know. He scored one, didn't he, in one of the early qualifiers. And now he thinks he's got the best long strike in the world. But at half-time, with a better team, it's a very different game to the away games. And it's something we're seeing again, isn't it? A lot of 0-0s, low-scoring draws at home, and then these big wins away in Europe. But not able to do it last time, and that might be what cost us. Linfield are 4-1 up in the Czech Republic. They are going mad at the minute. As Curtis Bell gives it to Daly, at least someone's flying the flag for the nation. They're going to be in the Europa League. I wonder if they can pick up points this time. They've not been in the Europa League group stages for 3 or 4 years. And last time they weren't doing too well. As Simpson's in. Brilliant header, Morris Simpson. And we might be joining Linfield there. Wonderful header from 15 yards out. He takes a bow, he gets the jig out, but it was a great header and it gives us the lead. The visitors have not had a shot on target and we're on the front foot again. It bobbles off Lennon into the goal. I think he's offside. Now he had a defender behind him, but the goalkeeper was in front. It doesn't seem to be given though. We've got away with it. And with 25 to go, we are 2-0 up on the night, 6-4 up on aggregate. But don't get excited. We've been here before. We were 2 goals up in the away leg with into stoppage time, wasn't it? It was 90 minutes gone and we still managed to draw. I'm going to take Morgan Griffiths off. I'm going to push Lennon further forward and I'm going to put Whitehall on in centre mid. So a slightly more defensive minded midfield overall. We've got 5 days off after this. We're doing brilliantly at the minute. I do not want to push anything. Linfield are going through. It looks like we're going through. And although it's 2 sides getting through to the group stages again, it looks like it's going to be the Europa League for both. Even though I don't want to speak too soon after last time. Shall we have a quick look at how Lana getting on? 2-2 on the night, so they're not going to get to the group stages. As Kane plays the ball out to Curtis Bell. Lots of tired legs now. We'll make more changes in a minute. As Daly finds Lennon. Can we get the third to wrap it up? Puarte chases it. It was a good through ball attempt, but just intercepted for Mackenzie. Now Whitehall. The sub finds Puarte on the right. It might be his last game as first choice right winger, but he gets the ball back to Gavin Reid. He's had a very solid game despite his wild efforts on goal. And Puarte loses the ball as I say it. Through ball into midfield. Well dealt with by Aalborg. They're good on the ball, but again, they've not been that creative today. I say as they get in down the left. Great cross into the box. And it's off the woodwork. It's a brilliant opportunity. And we're lucky to get away with that one. Let's go and make a couple of changes. We have got knacker players everywhere. Neil Daly off for Tom Robinson. We're going to go Ben Parry off for Brian Varma. Puarte will be replaced on the right wing by Dermot Lafferty. He will become an inverted winger on support. And then I could change a defender. But what are we getting out of that? I don't think an awful lot. So David Aitken, the youngster, will come on. He will replace Rory Lennon. And we're just going to try and keep it tight in the middle. A good chance for the youngster to get a run out. And hopefully not too early. 2 minutes of stoppage time. I think we have safely avoided it this time. We finally win a home qualifier. And what a time to do it. Aalborg 10 shots but didn't hit the target. They probably did us a favour there a few times. But Linfield, the stars of the show, they win 5-1 in the Czech Republic. And both of us are now on our way to the Europa League group stages. For us, that is a first time achievement. Let's get ahead and see the group stage draw or what teams we've got in the league stage. And then we'll go and plan when we're next going to be back. Well, here we go. Compared to the Europa Conference, it's an extra, 500 grand for reaching the group stages. And if we have a look at the Europa League fixtures, there are some interesting ones. A chance to get revenge on Derry City, who beat us in that All-Ireland Cup final a couple of years ago. But looking at them, there are some winnable ties in there. You're looking at the likes of Malmo and Odense and Apoel. Maybe we can nick points or something. We're not going to get a result at Napoli. We're not going to get results against Betis and Sampdoria. But there are a few ties where we might pick something up. And that's all it's really about this year, is getting more money into the club and more coefficient points on the list. So fixture rearrangements will be plentiful. I mean, it's a little bit all over the place at the minute, isn't it? We've already got a very hectic schedule for this season. We've got a lot of Europa League games on the way. So I think I'm going to come back at the end of September. We've got back-to-back Europa League games there, unless we get a cup one ruin it in the middle. But Odense and Real Betis, we've got a winnable home game and a very tricky home game. And we'll see how we get on in those contrasting fixtures. If you did enjoy this one, though, a very good couple of wins. Not a convincing one against Ballymena, but through to the Europa League group stages for the first time. And even though we've had our struggles elsewhere, progress is starting to occur. What do you think of the signings we've brought in so far as well? Hopefully we'll have a couple more to reveal next episode. If you did enjoy this one, do chuck a thumbs up on it, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Let me know if we can get our desired 2 first teamers at left back and on the right of midfield. Do you think we'll then be title contenders, or are Linfield simply too strong? They've got European fixtures with us though. They didn't have that last year. Hopefully you'll come and join me in a couple of days' time as we head into the Europa League group stages for the first time in our history. A massive thank you to our brand partners HelloFresh UK and NordVPN. They're in the description below. And I'll see you back here next time for big Europa League games. Another first in this distillery save.